The Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action today, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, against the Crane of Uganda in the last match in the group stage of the ongoing African Cup of Nations in Morocco. The Super Eagles of Nigeria currently sit top in Group C with 6 points, having scored 5 goals and conceded 3. Played 2 games and won all 2. So the Super Eagles of Nigeria have already booked a place in the round of 16 of the ongoing African Cup of Nations. So this last game against the Crane of Uganda is to ensure that the Super Eagles of Nigeria secure top spot. I heard some quarter actually saying that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have secured top spot. Not at all. We have qualified to the round of 16. That is a fact. But we have not secured the top spot when it comes to who sit on top of Group C. Because currently the Super Eagles of Nigeria have 6 points, haven't scored 5 goals, considered 3, goal difference of +2. The Carthage Eagles of Tunisia have 3 points, haven't scored 5 goals, considered 4, with goal difference of +1. Now let's do a little mathematics. If Uganda defeat Nigeria by 1, it simply means that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will have 5 goals, considered 4, would have scored 5 goals, considered 4, and remain with 6 points. And the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia went on to defeat Tanzania by the same goal margin, just by 1-0. What that simply means is that the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia would have scored 6 goals in the competition and conceded 4. And that means they now have 6 points with goal difference of +2. And so, automatically, the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia will go top of the group. So, there's everything to actually play for going into this particular game between Uganda versus Nigeria. So, if we take a look at the previous meeting between Uganda versus Nigeria, both countries we have met 8 times, and of that 8th time, the Crane of Uganda have actually won 4, the Super Eagles of Nigeria 2, and we have played 2 draws all along. So it simply means going into this particular game, head-to-head meeting between Uganda and Nigeria, Ugandans actually have that slight edge against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The notable defeat of Uganda to the Super Eagles of Nigeria was in the semi-final of 1978, where Uganda defeated the Nigerian Super Eagle, then the Green Eagles, by 2-1. And the Super Eagles of Nigeria also went on to defeat Uganda 2-0 in 1992, also in the African Cup of Nations. Other games that the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Uganda have actually met have been in the qualifiers. We met in the qualifiers in 2007 over both legs, where Nigeria defeated them by 1-0. And away from home, we lost to Uganda by 2-1. So the recent meeting was in 2018 in an international friendly, where we played a goalless draw in Nigeria. So it has always been a tight contest between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Crane of Uganda. So, going into this particular game, the Super Eagles manager, talking about Eric Shell, had his press conference yesterday prior to this game. And one interesting news that actually came from that press conference was that there's no players that is injured. And indeed, that is indeed a very big news. So all players that were selected for the AFCON 2025 still remain fit going into this particular game. But in as much as the Super Eagles of Nigeria have already booked a place in the round of 16, I expect the manager to actually rotate the squad and give some of the squad depth the playing time in order to actually see what we have as depth, should in case our first team player actually sustain any injury. But then, in trying to create that, if I'm Eric Shell, the manager, what I will do in trying to rotate the squad or give some playing times to other players that have not actually kicked a ball in the ongoing AFCON is just to create balance in every department of the field, like in the defense line, in the midfield, and in the attack line. Definitely, of course, I know Stanley Nwabali will be given that desired rest, and Francis Uzor might just be given the nod to start, or the other goalkeeper. Then, that actually means we are not 100% sure about match readiness of Francis Uzor, because even from his club, talking about Ammonium Nicosia in Cyprus, he has not always been a regular starter. So, going into this particular game, we need to create that balance. Wherever the manager wants to start, he should, but then try to create the balance in order to ensure that no department in the field actually suffers. So, having said that, going into this particular game, my predicted 11 or my expected 11 for this game against Uganda. In goal will be Francis Uzor. The four defenders, the full backs, the right back I'll go with Ryan Alebiosu, and the left back will be Zaidu Sanusi. And the centre back pairing, I will retain Calvin Bassey, the ever rock solid Calvin Bassey, alongside with Chidozie Awozian. So in the right back position, Bright Osai Samuel will actually get a rest, and also the left centre back, talking about Simi Ajayi will also rest for Chidozie Awaziem to actually take that place. So that will be my 4 defenders going into this particular game. The 3 midfielders, I will go with Wilfred Ndidi to retain his position as the deep-seated defensive midfielder, alongside with Frank Onyeka and Ralph Onyedika. That will be my 3 midfielders. And my 3 attackers up front. The left wing, I will go with Moses Simon. And the right wing will be Samuel Chukwueze. Up front will be Paul Onuachu. So that will be my expected 11. Who and who will be in your expected 11 against the Crane of Uganda? Now, the reason I made this selection is clear. You can actually see that in each of the departments, we have one presence of the first team player in order to create stability. The center back, we have Kevin Bassey. Should in case Francis Uzoho is not at his best, then his presence and other defenders can actually give the desired shield in need. And also, Wilfred Ndidi presence in the midfield will also be that needed shield the defense line will be needed into this particular game, because it's definitely going to be a tight contest, and the Crane of Uganda will be coming all out for this in order to try and see if they can secure all 3 points to know their fate, if Tanzania can actually cause an upset against the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia for them to actually finish second, or for them to actually have 4 points should they went on to defeat the Super Eagles of Nigeria, so as to stand a chance to be among the best 3rd place finishers. So it's definitely going to be a tough one. So my 3 midfielders, like I said, Wilfred Ndidi to play the deep-seated role, alongside with Frank Onyeka, and Ralph Onyedika, who is a box-to-box midfielder, will play the number 10 role behind the striker, talking about Paul Onuachu. And Samuel Chukwueze and Moses Simon will be given the nod again to actually start from the wide. So that will be my predicted 11 for this particular game. Prediction. Games between Uganda and Nigeria has always been a very tight contest, and as such, I expect this particular encounter to be tough as well. But the Super Eagles of Nigeria should have it at the back of their mind that all we need is just a draw to secure top spots. Because like I said earlier, we have qualified for the round of 16, but we have not secured top spots. That is a fact. Because if you check it mathematically, just if the Ugandan national team defeat the Super Eagles of Nigeria by 1-0, it simply means we still remain with 6 points, but we have considered 4 goals, scoring 5. That means goal difference of +1. And if Tunisia went on to defeat Tanzania by 1-0, it simply means the Tunisian national team would have scored 6 goals in the competition, considered 4, and have 6 points. That means they have goal difference of +2, and also goal 4 being scored would have been 6 goals more than what the Super Eagles of Nigeria have had. So going into this particular game, I still think and believe there is everything to play for. And if you don't think there's everything to play for, play it for pride. The pride of the nation is what is at stake here, because as you guys are out there in Morocco, you are ambassador of Nigeria, and all we just need is that full representation of the country's flag. So my prediction going into this game, I see the Super Eagles of Nigeria defeating the Crane of Uganda by 2-0. What will be your prediction going into this particular encounter? Drop your thoughts down below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you in my next video. Bye.